Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. My name is Dave Juskow. I'm here, as always, with the wonderful Mike Suarez.
Hello.
And what? Oh,
Hello.
hello. And we are here on this lovely Tuesday before Thanksgiving in New York City to provide you this show, reminding you that the Comedy Cellar is the greatest club in the country. In fact, if you happen to be in New York City today, you can see Mark Norman perform. And as you know, of course, you've seen my work with Mark Norman, so we love him. And the birthday girl, Jessica Curson. That's all. Yes. If you were here.
Is she 30 now? Is she 30?
Yeah, she's just 30. She's been 30 for 30 years, I think. I don't know. I didn't say it. In fact, let me just bring in our guest today so you can see him. Yes, this is Wayne Federman, everybody. I was going to do a big intro for you've seen him on Curb Your Enthusiasm in Silicon Valley. Also recently, he's been in What We Do in the Shadows.
Thank you.
And of course, the book with his the history of stand-up from Mark Twain to Dave Chappelle
is everything
out for your reading pleasure. It makes a good holiday gift. And Wayne Federman is here. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thrilled. I can't believe I wasn't here for the birthday show, but I'll take it.
It's all right. It's all right. Let me say, what are you going to say?
No, it's interesting that you call this the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I would think this is the Tuesday before the week before Thanksgiving.
It is. I don't want to miss. We're gonna. Yes. I like this time of the year, and I like. It's after Thanksgiving. Things are pretty cool between Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it just goes so fast. I wanted to spread it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say hello to Catalina and Aunt Judy and Marcy and Ange and A Week Late, Anonymous. So nice to see everybody. Ange, we were talking about you because Wayne, around the New Year's Eve area, including New Year's Eve, will be in Arizona. Is it Phoenix? Actually, Phoenix or just in Arizona?
It's a place called Glendale, Arizona, which is
Glendale,
close.
Arizona.
Very close.
And goes to these shows. When we have guests that are in Arizona. So I just wanted to tell you, and he will be there the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, New Year's Eve on a Sunday this year.
So excited.
Oh, she says, I'll see you.
Oh, Ange, I can't wait.
She's already going. She's a big comedy fan. Hello, Ola. Every Tuesday is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, except for the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Well, she's right about that.
Hola.
Oh, wait. Anonymous says you were in the town hall for New York Comedy Festival. Is that true?
No, she was talking about somebody else.
What is she talking about?
She was talking about somebody else.
What the hell is she talking about? Something else? Jesus Christ. That's Anonymous, really. She's really getting on my last nerve. It's all right. Anyway, Wayne, thank you again.
Can we just stop for 1 second? So there's a difference between getting on my nerves and getting on my last nerve. Those are two separate ways of being annoyed. Tell me the difference. Because
I will tell you the difference. Getting on my last nerve is that's it. I've had it.
That's
right.
Nerves is just okay.
There it is. Old man yells at cloud. That's me. Right. So that's getting on my last nerve. I've had it. But getting on my nerves, I can still put up with it a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
But you're getting to my last nerve.
Okay. Because what do I get to
Mike, come on.
Your penultimate nerve.
It drives me nuts. That what?
Never mind.
Wait, it was Mike's fault. He showed that horrible picture he knows I hate.
Okay.
He's doing it to punish me.
He's getting on your nerves or your last nerve?
That's getting on my last nerve.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let it go because I like Mike and he's a good comic. So I'll let it. Well, what do I think? What's the movie I'm doing? I'm thinking of Bullets Over Broadway with Bullets Over, like
I know
with Chaz Palminteri, and he goes when he talks to Jim Broadbent, and he like, listen, I know what you and Olive are doing, and don't do it. Don't fool around with Nick Valenti's girl anymore. He goes, oh, Mr. Cheech, you have it all wrong. And he goes, listen, the only reason I'm giving you a warning is because you're a good actor and you're good in the show. You ever see that movie?
Of course. I think I've seen most of Woody Allen's, but there's a few recently I haven't been able to see because I don't live in Europe.
Right. So I've seen the last two. but obviously no one can get to this last one.
No. Yeah, what does it take to see that movie? Where do you have to go? Is that in Portugal?
Society needs to change.
Oh, okay. No, I'm saying right now, where is it? Is it in Portugal?
I think you can see it anywhere else but America. Like it's definitely in France because it's in French.
Right.
The movie's in French. It has subtitles.
By the way, I just saw a movie in French that's fantastic, and I don't like foreign movies as a rule because I like to watch movies, not read movies.
Right.
But I saw a movie called Anatomy of a Fall, and there's some incredible stuff in that movie. Very simple. It's almost like a play. It's incredible.
When did it come out?
Again, it's new. I would say this month. I saw it, a screening of it. I don't want to play that I'm on the inside, but I am. I don't play that card, but yeah. Anatomy of, remember where you heard it first.
Well, I actually trust your judgment completely. So that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I saw the last two, which was A Rainy Day in New York.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the film festival one. Was it Rifkin's Festival?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Rifkin's Festival was awful. Rainy Day in New York could be salvaged.
Yeah.
But, it's not Blue Jasmine, which was probably his last greatest film. And
I love that we're talking Woody Allen. We've just lost everyone. We just lost the entire. Yeah. No.
So
I agree with Blue Jasmine more than Midnight in Paris. I hate to say it.
So I don't know. I didn't tell you, but I teach at a university now. I teach film. You do too, right?
I'm at USC. What university are you at?
Right. That it's Montclair State University. It's a little bit different. But it's funny, right?
It's in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
I know that school. Okay.
Well, I just started, so right. I thought that's what I thought. I thought you teach. I talked to your boy Judd Apatow about that because he found it because Esty told him I was teaching a class on the movie Clueless. Everybody here knows that's what I was teaching. And she was so excited to, Judd, Juskow's teaching a class on Clueless. And he was like, oh, man, I want to teach a class. I want to teach one at USC, but my daughter won't let me. So
I'm sure
is she in your class?
No, she is not. But and neither is LeBron's kid. He is not.
Well, and who is?
And Chris Rock's kid is there.
No,
she's not.
You're no fun.
No. I have a lot of fun. I have a pretty fun class, but
what do you teach there?
I teach my book, which is the history of stand-up.
Oh, brilliant.
They're getting ready to do their final presentations, which are so fun. They're really into it. It's really cool. So, and I'm having them create a hypothetical historical comedy show using 3 acts, opening, middle, headliner at a historic venue. So like, for example, like someone just did one, they're doing Will Rogers is opening, then Mulaney is middling, and then Pryor is closing. And they talk about it, show it, and it's going to be at the Copacabana. They're doing it in the little room in the Copa, 1953.
That's a great final exam.
Yeah, that's just brilliant. So they know like that there were different comics from different eras. Some of them, there's one guy doing a show at Madison Square Garden. One guy is doing a show at the Comedy Cellar.
That's awesome.
Like Mom's Mabley, and then it's like it's fun. Like I have to tell you, like a lot of these kids, the first time they ever saw Richard Pryor was when I showed them a clip. So
right,
it's really because they're all born like 2005.
Right, brings me to my point as well. Is that I was talking about Woody Allen because I was mentioning, and I was like, should I bring it up? They don't know who he is.
They have no
idea. Don't know he's in trouble. So I just I showed them. We also did a time travel course, so I showed them Midnight in Paris.
Oh, okay.
And that was the assignment to watch it, and we went over it, and they don't. So and then I showed them Sleeper. So 2 Woody Allen time travel movies technically.
It sounds like you have a tough class. You'd like put on a DVD and walk out of the room.
No, I make them watch it before class.
Let's see.
Because that's too.
I actually am in the class teaching thing. That's all right. It's no big deal. Just throw in a movie.
I love doing it. I'm having such a good time. So I'm glad you like it too.
Academia, baby.
Oh, that's I knew I forgot about that. So that's so cool that you're teaching your book. What's better than that? Because then you have, I'm like, no, I did write. That's like the most important thing is we remember as students, like, you got to have something that says the teacher is the shit, and it's important.
Well, no, it's good. It's like, it's fun, and it's surprising, like what they don't know. And again, it's not their fault. They're bombarded with media their whole life. They don't have to know who Toady Fields is, but it's just they don't know who Jay Leno is, let alone Carson or Parr. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
so
and you know what?
It's fun for me to kind of like connect it to their lives without it just being just some name of just some dude.
Exactly. And I was describing the movie Porky's to them and why it made so much money. And they're like, but Professor, was the 80s really this fun? Something, whatever. But you're like me, where you don't get upset with the fact that they don't know that. So many of the people I know, they get upset. I'm like, you can't get upset. I didn't know that stuff when I was their age either,
Well, yeah. Well, I was a comedy nerd, so I did, but you can't be upset. It's like they know what they know.
So many of my friends get angry. What do you mean you never heard of The Godfather? That was from 50 years ago. How could you not know?
Right.
And I'm like, that's not how it works. These kids don't know anything.
They've also been bombarded with social media content.
Right.
So like a movie doesn't have quite the same draw. Like a movie is an event, like a Marvel movie, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, as opposed to, oh, we're going to the movies and we're going to see Elliot Gould in some, like, they don't know that world.
Right.
Of just like a small adult movie.
I really enjoyed that example.
You know what I'm saying? You just go to a movie. Yeah.
We're going to see Capricorn 1 tonight.
It doesn't have to be, Spider-Man 8 or something. So
yeah.
But if you think of the amount of time somebody born in 2005 has spent on their phone scrolling through this, and I'll tell you, I find it addicting, and didn't grow up with that. I can't imagine how strong of a draw that is for somebody that age.
Yeah, I think about that too, in the sense of like, because we, as old as we are, and the people who are even older, it's so funny, we can't live without our phones anymore, and that shouldn't be the case when you're older. We're like, we've lived with phones before, but now you and I can't even remember a time when we didn't have our phones.
Okay, well, I can remember it.
I can remember it being an awful time.
I don't remember it being an awful time. I'm just saying it just changes. That's all. That's all.
I love modern technology.
The man yells at clouds thing again. Thank you. Thank you.
That is me. I get upset. I get upset about when I was watching All the President's Men the other day, and I was getting so frustrated that they didn't have
Sidney
phones.
Pollack? Did Sidney Pollack direct that?
No, that is Pakula.
Alan J. Pakula.
Yes. And I was getting angry that they didn't have phones. It was bothering me. They had to keep going to the phone booth or something. I'm like, come on. It's hard to watch stuff like that now, in a sense,
What?
It's a little hard to watch.
Movie to watch?
No, it's a great movie to watch, but the fact that they have to keep going somewhere to go to the phone is disturbing to me at this point. And I can't imagine how your class, the students, feel about something like that. They must have a difficult time.
I am literally baffled by what you're saying right now.
Really?
You're saying it's hard to watch a movie because there was a time there wasn't phones, and it makes you anxious.
Yes.
They have to put a nickel.
I think it just makes me angry. Yeah, because I don't know. I guess I just
shot, by the way, of Robert Redford.
Yeah.
And he is left-handed, that guy.
Well, maybe he's got to keep going to the payphone to meet, get to get message from Deep Throat, and they got to leave messages. I mean, it makes it also kind of fun too. But oh God, right? Watching people dial the old rotary phones, right?
God, I don't have any of that. I just remember. I guess I have a very keen memory of a lot of things that happened in my life. I had a thing that happened when I was in second grade. So since then, I've been very aware of things, passage of time, technology changing, and anything like that. So I have zero of that. I'm processing what you're saying.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's a real thing. Sometimes when I watch Friends or Seinfeld, I say at least they're using cell phones, because then this can last forever. It bothers me. I I got to get over. I guess I'm thinking the way people that grew up without, just having access to phones would be feeling about watching something like that. That's where I guess I'm looking at it through my students' eyes at this point, and that's what I'm thinking they're going to say.
Well, stop stealing your students' eyes.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at them through your old cataract infested eyes.
But I sure do like that movie. I've seen it so many times.
My
All
God,
the President's Men.
it's so good. Alan
And
J.
the fact that it just came out like 2 years after it all happened is so amazing.
Oh, it's incredible! Come on.
Yeah. I even like that, like some of the parts.
Jason Robards,
right?
The whole thing is.
You boys better get dressed because the shit's gonna hit the fan tomorrow.
It's so real. Anyway, but
I say we stick with the boys.
I like older movies than even that. I mean, it's not like I'm one of those. I only like movies from the 70s when I was a kid. I really like musicals from the 30s. I like the whole thing. I like the whole history of it.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
You only like movies you saw and then are re-seen and can enjoy them.
Well,
again?
sometimes I can go back, but I definitely feel like I always have this that movie sucked before the 70s. They were just so bad. I know this is a nightmare for you.
This is a nightmare.
I'm like besides North by Northwest and The Wizard of Oz, I really just everything blew. Sorry. Is that insulting?
Have you ever seen City Lights, the Charlie Chaplin movie?
They show it at the Cellar all the time. Yeah, that's always on the screen at the dining, at the upstairs, the olive tree. Okay. So that's the only place I've seen it. I do like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Okay, let's stop this conversation. This is not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
Well, I don't know. I like the modern stuff.
I know, of course, you can connect with it.
Yeah, see, Catalina.
It's hard. They talked in a different style back then. It was very.
Now you listen to me and you listen good. I've had just about enough of this conversation.
Yeah. It definitely mattered.
No, I do like that. Well, Catalina on the chat room. She's from Chile. She's 22, and she's like, Dave, this conversation upsets me. So she's with you. She likes the old stuff. That's how we met.
She does?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I don't like the new stuff. I just recommended a movie to you.
So look what she just said. The Maltese Falcon in a Lonely Place. She's only 22, 23. She's
Catalina.
Like, come on.
Again, it takes a little bit of effort to kind of get in because, again, the language, the thing, they're not swearing. No nudity. But
the non-nudity thing is a problem.
I love it. By the way, here's a trivia question for you, not a statement, a little piece of trivia for you and Catalina. In the original Godfather, a movie about Italian mobsters in the United States, they never say the F word once in that movie.
Isn't that amazing? That's true.
Yeah. Just how things, when you think of like Soprano level. Okay.
Right. But I guess also the reason is because it took place in the 50s. And
No. It's because it was just, they didn't. No, you don't think Italians in the 50s used the F word?
Yeah, I didn't because I've only seen movies. So yes, that is exactly what I was thinking. You're absolutely right. Well, you know what? Maybe because it took place in the 40s instead. Maybe that was what. I don't know. It's like, and of course they talk like that.
In Godfather 2, they do use it. I think.
Oh, that's my favorite. You and your whole fucking family. I intend to squeeze you. Come here with your oily hair and your, whatever. The senator, you can have my answer now.
Yeah.
That's right. He says, "Fuck it." That might be the first time or the only time. You and your whole fucking family.
Okay. No, those are great movies. By the way, another piece of trivia. If anyone cares about, I know we're not doing trivia.
No. I completely care. This is great.
The Godfather. A lot of people think that, or The Godfather 2 is maybe the greatest American movie ever made. 1972. It wins Best Picture. However, the director of that movie, a guy named Francis Ford Coppola, 3 names, like a serial killer, does not win Best Director in 1972.
Bob Fosse?
Bob Fosse, yeah. Bob Fosse.
Cabaret.
Yeah.
Well, he won it, right. So Francis, I forget that all the time. I can't even believe it.
I love it. It's one of my favorite little
and Cabaret, like, kind of swept. Like it was like because Joel Grey won against Pacino and Marlon Brando won, but Liza Minnelli won instead of any other the girls, but then you did win in 74 for Godfather 2.
Yeah.
I forget that he did. How could he not win Best Director?
I don't.
Cabaret's
put up the sign. Old man screams at a cloud while you're doing the rant. Put it up one more time. Thank you. Keep going with your rant.
Well, it is embarrassing though when Joel Grey beats out Al Pacino, James Caan, and Robert Duvall, and they're like, "Hey, everybody! Oh my God, this is amazing!"
Joel Grey, Cabaret is an incredible movie. Incredible movie. By the way, that guy only made 5 movies.
Joel Grey?
No, Bob Fosse.
Oh,
made more than 5
movies. Joel Grey went on to play the Asian guy in the
Guy Remo Williams.
Yeah, Remo Williams.
Bob Fosse, All That Jazz.
Yeah. Are you going to try to name them?
I'm going to try to name them.
Let's do it.
Lenny.
That's 2.
Well, then Cabaret.
So you got 3. Only 2 more to go.
Now I'm stuck.
His last movie, I think, is called Star 80.
Oh, Star 80 with the girl from Hemingway. No,
the girl who got killed. Right. It's about the girl who got killed, and then
right. Wait, who's the lead in it though? In the movie,
I'm blanking on her name right now. But his first movie is a studio movie called Sweet Charity.
Oh,
that's
Shirley MacLaine.
Yes, yeah. If they could see me now, this little gang of
mine. Right.
I don't want to get hit with the music publishing thing. So
Ola says, "What's the one with Gwen Verdon?" I feel like that.
Oh, that's All That Jazz. That's All That Jazz.
That is All That Jazz. Okay, because didn't Gwen Verdon create the role in Sweet Charity? Or I know it's Damn Yankees.
Yes.
Okay, but then she didn't get to play it in the movie.
No,
like they did to Julie Andrews with My Fair Lady. They used to dick over people back then. Ethel Merman and Gypsy.
Get Carol Channing and
Hello Dolly, right? Shirley MacLaine, right? Who's the other? Is that Tony Curtis? I don't know who the man is in Sweet Charity.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So that's it. 5 movies, pretty good run.
That's an unbelievable run and a best director Oscar too.
I think it's John McMartin.
Who the hell is he?
Yeah, I don't think that's Tony Curtis. Okay, here's another trivia question. We're just doing trivia now. Okay, because this is movies from the 70s. This is the era you like, except for the phones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In Bob Fosse's movie, All That Jazz, he plays a director who's editing a documentary about a comedian. I believe it's Lenny Bruce, and he directed the movie Lenny, but the guy who's playing Lenny in the movie is not Dustin Hoffman. Who is it?
Oh, who is it?
Again, he's editing a movie. He directed a movie, and they're in the editing process of making this movie.
Ann's just said, this man is a great guest about you. Because we love this. We love this kind of stuff. This is fantastic. I don't know who it is.
It's Cliff Gorman, who played Lenny on Broadway, originated that role on Broadway.
Wow. Oh, so he gave him a little nod.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that shit.
Well, you don't know it. You just love it.
Well, I used to like when Tom Hanks would give Peter Scolari a couple things to do, you know. Nice. I do enjoy, or like when they had the original Lois Lane in the Superman movie on the train, you know. I do like those kind of nods.
The
very
78
much.
One, the Richard Donner one. Yeah, that was
great.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever seen the Superman 2 Donner director's cut?
Superman 2?
Yeah.
No.
It's great. He's really angry, and he just comes on going like, these fuckers, they screwed. He's the old man yells at cloud. And he put together pretty much a completely different film. It's so interesting because there's it opens with Lois Lane figuring out that he's Superman.
Right.
Like instead of that, they took out that whole power scene with the Eiffel Tower, and that it's just like, I know you're. Yeah, they just go right into it, which makes so much sense, and it's just totally different. And they used, screen tests, so. There's parts where Christopher is just sweating under his arms and stuff because they compiled it together because he wasn't able to make his cut, you know. So Yeah,
they added all the. They took out all the slapstick that guy put in. And...
Where can I see something like that?
I saw it on DVD a long time ago. I think that's the only. Maybe it's on YouTube or something. It's,
okay,
it's very entertaining, and it's one of those movies that you could totally teach in class because you say to yourself, "I can't believe they cut out this part."
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't believe they didn't put this part into the original, and it will drive you nuts.
I love the way the two things we teach you at Montclair State, that yours is the most narrow of subjects. One movie. What year did that movie come out? Is that
95?
Okay, mid-90s. And I teach from 1840 to 2023.
Well, it gets better this semester when I teach my 80s course.
There it is. Prime Video, Amazon Prime.
Oh, perfect. Oh,
I love it.
You know what? I need to watch that again. Yeah, see, this is Superman 2, and yet they're showing scenes from Superman 1. So I think they somehow
they filmed Superman 1 and 2 at the same time.
At the same time, and they didn't tell any of the actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic story. They got totally screwed. The Salkinds screwed everybody.
Well, I have a question, Mike. Wasn't there another director on Superman 1 briefly?
I think that's the issue that
he got fired off of it.
Yeah,
and brought in someone else. Okay.
Richard Lester.
Yeah, I think that's. I think
Lester took over for Donner on part 2, and then put in all the funny parts.
Right. Richard Lester.
Yes,
he's the Beatles guy. He did Help in A Hard Day's Night.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, those funny parts, were I think that's why I wanted to become a comic. I mean, what's his name? Christopher Reeve was so funny as Clark Kent. He was so good. You didn't like it? Didn't work
again. I don't want to trash Richard Lester on a podcast. That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to do that.
All right, I got a question.
And by the way, I have a weird take. Is I really like the movie Help. I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I love that movie.
Well, it's good for historical. Really, I mean, to watch the Beatles, these icons do anything else is cool.
In color.
It's just a little slow, I guess, and weird, but it's exciting seeing them young. And, when you think about everything, it is fun to watch them.
Wait a minute. When I think about everything?
Everything that they would.
Oh, I thought you think about everything.
No, just the Beatles and how important they still are 50 years later.
God.
And, and did you hear that new song? We don't like it that much.
You don't? What's we?
When we talk about it on the show. Here, this show.
You mean all your listeners, Mike?
Nobody was. Mike.
Nobody liked it. Okay.
I hadn't really heard it.
We didn't love it
much.
I think it's better than Strawberry Fields. I think it's that good.
We didn't answer the question of who was killed.
Oh, Dorothy. That's who Dorothy is about.
Yeah.
That's who it's about, but that's not the actress that played her, is it?
No, that's the person who was actually killed.
Yeah, Dorothy Stratton. Yeah, there was with Bogdanovich and that whole thing. Yeah, it's
right. Really... I think they did a TV version with Robert Reed. I don't know why I know that.
Mr. Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was her caretaker.
I had no idea I was going to be talking about any of this today. I love it.
Wait, I just wanted to tell you something else, and now I got sidetracked.
It was Mariel Hemingway who played her in the movie.
That's what I said.
You did get it right. You got it right. And speaking of Mariel Hemingway, she was also in Manhattan, right?
Manhattan.
Yeah.
At 17.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help his case a lot, with all that stuff.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it's such a
not helpful. Prosecution evidence number G, the film Manhattan. Your Honor, I'd like to place into evidence a film, a couple clips from the movie Manhattan, 1979. Yeah, not great for that case.
No, but God, that's such a good movie. It's such a good movie, and the fact that he made it out, that probably would have won Best Picture if he hadn't already won Best Picture for Annie Hall.
Good point.
That next year, I think because it was nominated.
I think it lost to Kramer versus Kramer.
I think you're absolutely right in 79. Didn't they? I think they both also won Best Actor and Actress too. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Oh, I know what the question was. This is a great question for somebody who is a professor at USC.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, which I know it's located there. Do you know what I'm going to say?
It's about John Wayne?
No. Have
Okay.
you ever seen The Day the Clown Cried, the actual print?
I have not. Obviously you can see behind me, there's a Martin and Lewis poster right here. So I do like Jerry Lewis's career. I would love to see that movie. I think it's going to be released in a couple of years, right? I think that.
Oh, I did hear something about that, but I know it's located at USC, and I know that
You
Harry
sure
Shearer.
USC, not UCLA?
Yes, USC.
Oh,
And Harry Shearer is the only person that's seen it,
right.
from what I am told. And but I believe that Jerry Lewis had a deal with USC. Didn't he teach there?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so that's why it's somebody
I
has.
don't know if you've ever read. Jerry Lewis. For those who don't know, was this comedian. He started out as part of the comedy team.
You're in your professor mode.
And then but my favorite part is just the bravado of Jerry Lewis. It's just incredible. But he wrote a book based on the lectures he gave at USC, and he called it, in the most humble fashion possible, The Total Filmmaker. That's the name of the book. Not what I've learned on the set, not anything like that. The total, that's what he is, the total filmmaker. And it's an incredible little book.
It's so weird. He was so full of himself, and yet he did invent that video playback and everything. So there is a genius part to him, obviously, his comedy. But boy, he was really.
He was
full
a
of
thing.
himself.
Oh no, he was a total. It was incredible. I hit him at the right age where I could see his movies as a kid.
Right,
so I was like, oh, these are movies for me.
And that's why it's difficult to watch. One of the things I was going to talk about was Hardly Working, because
by the way, I did extra work. You can see me in that movie. Keep
no
going.
way.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's amazing. Because you've always lived in LA, right? Like in California.
Well, it was shot in Florida, so thanks for getting everything wrong. Grew up in Maryland and Florida.
Oh, I didn't know. Then what were you doing in Florida in 1981?
It was. I think it was 80. I don't know. I know it was. I was down there working the comic strip, and they found out they were shooting that movie, and I was like, "Can I do extra work?" And they're like, "Yeah." They were looking.
Well, you just said you were from Maryland. What made you go to Florida for?
Oh, I'm sorry. At that time, I was already done with I was like out of college. So, my parents. I lived with my parents when I was a kid. Like as a family. I don't know if you've heard of this thing. It's so when they moved to Florida from Maryland, I moved with them with my parents.
Anonymous just said, "Don't take it personally. I still have no idea where my producer lives," which is Mike. She's right. I get very confused. I keep saying San Antonio, and
I see.
I don't care. San Antonio.
No.
You keep saying
it is. Oh, I do.
No, they shot Hardly Working in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so I mean, but even though you're in it and you might have a fond memory, it's a bad movie depiction.
Horrible. Let me just say this, though. Yeah. This is the thing about it. It's terrible. It's in fact, he steals from his own movie, does the same thing from another movie. But there is one very funny scene in that movie. There's one moment of like comedic genius in that movie. And that there's just this crazy donut scene where he's being interviewed by the guy. And that's it. That's the only funny. But there was another movie made, I think it was called Cracking Up. Another movie where the movie's terrible, but there's a slippery floor scene that's incredible and a waitress scene that's so even in his worst movies, and Hardly Working is definitely one of his worst. There's always like at least a moment of something like an inspiration,
probably in which the movie was based around. Maybe like he's like, well, I have an idea for this donut scene.
No, he's just whatever. He's it's hard for me to keep defending him, but I held great affection for Jerry Lewis for many a year.
Oh, sure, I totally understand too. Yeah. I mean, and why shouldn't you? I mean, the guy was an icon. I mean, he really.
Well, I feel like a lot of people didn't like him. So,
they don't like him now.
No, I feel like people didn't like him then. Also, there was a lot of people that didn't like him then, especially older people. They were like, "This is not." And I was like,
I guess that's why they just loved him in France, and then he was happy.
And anyway.
Tell us.
No, we were talking about Woody Allen, who's Academy Award winner and all that. He wanted Jerry Lewis to direct his first movie. He wanted him to direct, take the money, and run.
What happened? This is fascinating. I don't know.
Jerry said no.
Well,
He
like
was
what?
too busy directing The Family Jewels or something.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. I can't believe Woody Allen actually
Well, if you
asked someone
think
else.
about it, Woody Allen is like, that movie came out, what,
69.
68,
69,
okay,
yeah.
68, 69. Jerry Lewis's first movie that he directed is 60. So he had directed some incredible comedies in the 60s, most notably The Nutty Professor.
Right.
So
I still can't believe that I still can't. I finally saw it. I hadn't seen it, The Nutty Professor, and I finally watched it, and it is fascinating. And the best part about it, giving total credit to Jerry Lewis, is that he uses no makeup. And when I saw the Eddie Murphy one first, and although I loved the Eddie Murphy one and I like Eddie Murphy, I mean, it's not fair. You really got to hand it to Jerry Lewis with no costumes and.
Well, he does, but there is some.
Yes, but it's not like Eddie Murphy who's putting.
No. Oh no, there's no fat suit or anything.
It's still very impressive.
But he does put in the teeth for Julius Kelp, right?
But he has to. Those teeth are hilarious.
I just wanted to. That's my impression of Julius Kelp.
Oh, and I assume you've seen Martin Short's unbelievable.
Oh yes,
that SCTV one where he's on the Champs de LSA. I can't pronounce that.
Oh yeah. It's just incredible.
That is like Mike. That is like a 2-minute SCTV bit that might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. He hits all the notes of Jerry Lewis in that 2 minutes, right? He's even doing the telethon. He's like, and he's wearing the sailor outfit, the little boy said. And if the pimply faced kid at the studio this week is going to be the producer, he's yelling at the audience, and then he yells at the band, Lee. That is when the music comes in.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite bits of that one, and of course the Michael McDonald, Rick Moranis, Michael McDonald SCTV thing. Those are my two favorite bits of all time.
By the way, are you the one that wrote the article that Martin Short isn't funny? Were you the guy that started that?
Absolutely not. I don't understand that one at all.
I almost feel like Martin Short might have written that because no one thinks he's not funny. No one.
The only thing I can think of, if you've seen this season of,
there was just an avalanche of people going, "He is funny," and that's funny.
Oh yeah, let's watch this. Oh, thanks, Mike.
Chaplin should have been so funny. The Figaro. It's Martin Scorsese.
That's even better.
Yes.
Okay, can we stop it just for a second? What's interesting is that Martin Scorsese is a huge Jerry Lewis fan, and often points to The Nutty Professor. So
that's the gag.
Yeah, that's a gag.
They know that. Isn't that great?
Yes, yeah. As a director, it's all jumpy on this end. So
it's jumpy here too.
Yeah.
I mean, should we continue
the
watching
original
it?
Video is a little...
What'd you say, Mike?
The original video is a little jumpy.
Yeah, okay, we can watch it.
Should we continue or should we watch it?
No.
All right. Well, everybody watch it.
Suddenly I'm directing this bike. No. Cut away from that. Sorry, Mike. Do whatever you want.
No. This is what I want is just to continue this conversation. I'm having the best time. I know I told you you'd only be out for 10 minutes. I don't know if you have to go.
Again, I think I'm available. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to keep you, because I really appreciate you.
I'm completely available. But it's so funny we went off on these Jerry Lewis tangents.
I'm loving these tangents. I am loving that when we get a guest like you, and it's extremely rare, not to be rude to anyone else. It's just like, it's the best. I mean, Mike, the last time we did this was with Joey Cola. You know Joey, right? Oh, yeah. And it was just a different conversation.
Oh, I see. He teaches at Princeton, right?
No. Oh, you're making fun. Okay.
Yeah.
No, what we were talking about was old comedy because we met years ago in Long Island comics and stuff.
Oh,
so we're just having a good conversation, about comedy from 40 years ago for us, stand up.
Right.
And these
Can I say something about stand up? Because this is a thing that I absolutely believe. I love stand up. I love the whole, obviously I wrote a book about it. But I feel like stand-ups today are just as good, if not better, than comics of the past, even from the 80s, from my generation and stuff,
Oh,
or the 90s.
I agree
And
100%.
You
I was
do,
just-
yeah.
yeah.
So I don't understand these people that are just like, oh, comedy is not. It's like, it's so good and smart. Again, there's always a lot of shitty comedy.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately it's saturated,
Yeah.
we can see these shitty comics who for some reason put themselves out on Instagram, mostly women, and
Okay,
don't.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, you didn't say it, I did. I'm Dave Juskow, and I'm saying that. And they just put out stuff, and there's no laughs, and you can't figure out why they're putting it up. And that's the issue. I think there's just so much saturation. There was a period in the 90s where it got saturated because all the TV shows, that was happening, Caroline's and A&E and all that stuff. So it was saturated. And now it's happened again, like in this 2012 era around, where just everybody is doing it because the Netflix specials and everything. It's
no. We're in a comedy boom now. There's no doubt about it. And I love it. But I just think stand-up is so great today.
Yeah, and I've been also seeing, even though Old Man Yells at Cloud, the one thing I do appreciate and like are a lot of the younger comics. And I like if somebody's great, I love it. That's why I've kind of latched on to Sam Morril or Mark Norman, and I'm considering them young, and they're in their mid-30s. I consider them the new generation, and they're doing great.
No question. They're way past the new generation now. They're playing, Madison Square Garden or the Radio City and stuff, or the Beacon.
Krista Stefano just played Radio City and stuff, and these guys are just starting out at the Cellar, and they're really working out great.
Really good. No, Sam in particular, I'm a huge fan of that guy.
Well, you know what he's a huge fan of, which is why we started bonding, is Hannah and her sisters.
Really?
That's how we started bonding, because I love doing the imitation of
who?
Max von Sydow. Like, I watched television today. Can you imagine the mind of someone who watches wrestling? He likes that. So I did that on his special.
That scene when when she leaves him or starts to leave him and he breaks down.
It's amazing, right?
Because he has all the power in the relationship, and then the power is gone.
He's devastated.
Yeah.
This
intellectual is devastated.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing?
That movie is.
And it's not, and it's just like that. All of his stuff is amazing. Like that, she comes home after cheating on him, and he's just the way he's talking. Like, I watched a documentary on the Holocaust. They keep asking the same questions. How could this have happened? But the real question is, why doesn't it happen more often? And she's like, I can't take this anymore.
I know. No, in a way, if you really look at Woody Allen, and again, he's my favorite actor, director, star, writer in the history of Hollywood. There's not many who can even do it.
Yeah.
But of all the ones who have done it, and I put him slightly above Chaplin for a number of reasons, but those are the two best, in my opinion. People who wrote, direct, and starred in their movies. And they're very close, because I love Chaplin also. But is that he's really kind of anti-intellectual, even though he feigns that he's this, and with the references and all of that stuff.
Really?
Like, if you really break it down, like if you even think of, I think it's in Annie Hall when he's like in the room watching the Knicks, and all of those people are,
the Knicks were down, and they were up 7 points. Now they're down, 5. He said as he removed her brassiere.
Right. He says, why they're in the, in Commentary magazine and all. So and in a way, that Max von Sydow character, he's always, I think he's kind of making fun of the intellectual elite a little, even in Manhattan, when he's like, because every orgasm I have,
right. That guy. I knew a guy that came so good. What? Right, and they're like, and that's the thing. Did you see that satirical piece on the Nazis last week? Like, right, in the New York Times, like, well, bricks and baseball bats are much better when it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's
no. If you really break, again, I don't want to. This is a Woody Allen love fest, but I'm sure he's listening to this podcast. I'm sure that's one of the things.
I hope he is, because I will always love him. And Sarah and I talk about this all the time. We've talked about it on my podcast. She gets conflicted on where to stand, but she also, like us, especially if you're a certain age, I think you can't take it away, and nothing's been proven, and so you just don't. You want
I know
people
you
from
have
the,
to live. You do have to live in a world of like, I don't need to know all these details because I'm afraid of what this is. What
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just, and it's difficult because I mean this stuff is so genius. It must be celebrated, and it's just not fair that we can't, that people are getting down on him. So about your Charlie Chaplin thing, two things on that. First of all, I just saw I don't remember the name of it. I just saw it 7 months ago, an older one where he was older, a talkie where he played where he married somebody and kept killing the wives, or they kept dying, or
Wait, are you talking about Limelight?
is it called Limelight? I can't
Is Buster Keaton in it briefly?
I don't remember. I just can't think of the
The-
name. He keeps getting married to get the money.
Oh, that might be the Countess from Hong Kong or whatever.
No, I'd remember it if you told me, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was from the 50s, and I remember I hadn't seen Charlie Chaplin talk,
Right.
and I was curious to see his movie. I don't think it did well, but it was excellent, and he's older, and it was so interesting. And to your point, where you say Chaplin is this, your favorite, and Woody Allen's Chaplin, the two of them, Chaplin could have been Woody Allen had he had the tools. If he had lived later, we probably would have gotten to see so much more. I mean, he invented half the shit Woody Allen was doing.
Well, okay. Look, he also had like the young ladies as well. So he's like the two of them.
I know, but everything was accepted back
Yeah,
then. It was
yeah.
frowned upon, not whatever.
It
But I'm just
wasn't
saying, do you think the way you were saying it?
I don't ever play this game.
I love playing this game.
This is the game I don't play. I won't even. I'll just sit on the sidelines and watch other people. I don't play the game of. I feel like so much has happened, and it's so fun to examine it and look at it and just and pick it apart. And where did that come from? Like I feel like that's really what interests me. What could have happened or what would have happened if someone was alive does not interest me at all because it's all. I hate to say it's hypothetical.
Oh, sure, I understand
It's
that too.
all like I have no idea. Maybe.
But I also love that Woody Allen definitely took from Charlie Chaplin and Groucho. I mean,
oh no, look at the last shot of Manhattan. That's a direct lift of a Charlie Chaplin. The last shot of him standing in the hallway is incredible. So there's no, but he also took from Bob Hope. So
right. He's said that. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That the quick response,
and being a coward and a ladies' man and all, and
Isn't that great that he, you forget sometimes when he makes a Blue Jasmine that this guy comes from a comedy background and just became, sometimes it's hard to remember.
Again, the greatest who's ever done it in the history of Hollywood. Hollywood's been around what? I'm going to say 110 years.
That's right.
Of like real studio movies. Like when it was those D.W. Griffith movies or early 1900, I'm trying to think, later than that, 1915. So so 110 years, well, almost 110 years.
Yeah.
So it's not that long.
No.
Not that long. But damn, he is, that's it. So he's my favorite. I said it. But of the writer directors working today, I would say my favorite is Quentin Tarantino.
Really?
Even more than the Coen brothers. And it's so close because I love me some Minnesota Jews. But those guys are so good. They're so good. And Paul Thomas Anderson. There's a lot of like kind of writer directors that are just incredible these days.
I'm a hit or miss on the Coen brothers sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
I like some of them I love, and some of them I'm.
Is Tarantino
maybe I
too
like
much
them
for you?
all.
Is Tarantino too much?
Some of them are just a little slow for me, I guess.
Tarantino movies?
No. Those aren't slow at all. No, no Tarantino movies. I guess I like every one I've seen. I don't. Some of them I don't want to watch. Like,
can I tell you? Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not interrupting. I talk forever unless you interrupt. So,
no, I'm saying I came up with a movie genre based on his films that I invented.
Cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
if you think about Django Unchained or what's the Nazi one called? It's right. Inglourious Bastards. Inglourious Bastards. I call it historical revenge movies.
Oh, that's brilliant. Because you can also say that in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well.
Yes.
At least the ending.
Of course. No, the whole thing. The whole thing.
So that's the problem I had with him was the Inglourious Bastards. I've never seen it because I didn't want to imagine the way I wanted it to be. And yet everybody says it's fantastic and I should probably watch it, because then once I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it makes me so happy that, what if they could have just ripped these idiots apart like this? That's great. Historical revenge movie. That's fucking brilliant. God damn it.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, so he's done it with at least three movies now. And and even the Western is also, but anyway, most of his movies are revenge movies. Like, so it's,
I guess they are, right, because that's what Kill Bill is.
Yeah, of course.
And boy, I
just love his dialogue. I love the whole thing. So,
you're so right. Sometimes I say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I can watch his movies over and over again. Anytime Pulp Fiction's on, I'm definitely all in. I've watched Kill Bill 1 and 2 multiple times, and quite frankly, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood I love it.
I love it also.
And and it was one of those movies I remember seeing. I'm like, I don't understand what happened. Nothing happened. What kind of movie is this? And yet I'm totally entertained throughout the entire goddamn thing.
Damn it. Yeah. So anyway, that's where I stand. If anyone cares about my opinion, I don't know why anyone would.
And that ending,
just as a longtime movie fan, that's where I stand on that.
Yeah, and that ending in Kill
and again,
Bill
one of my favorite movies is Gold Diggers of 1933. So I love movies from every decade.
So have you ever thought about teaching a movie class at USC?
No, because I've talked to real movie nerds, and I'm not good enough. I'm good for a comic, you know what I mean? I'm good for a comedian, but like real movie guys that know every Lubitsch movie, all of this, like I just don't have that much knowledge.
Well, neither do I, obviously, but I think the kids are getting entertained, and I think I'm teaching them something, and I mostly concentrate on comedies, obviously. And we don't talk about film aesthetics in my class, and there's a place for that, where the kids just want to learn and they're interested in what you have to say. And when I show them the box office results from 1982 and they see Porky's is, after E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark, they're like, what? Can you explain that? And they're interested.
Well, I feel like Porky's is an important movie in that it was one of the first R-rated sex comedies, right?
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was,
it was
very successful. Also, by the way, also a revenge movie.
Well, the third one was called Porky's Revenge.
Oh, that's the one that wasn't revenge. Yeah, no, those were good. They were, they just struck. I feel like in television movies, like sometimes you just strike the right zeitgeist moment and it works.
Yeah,
and sometimes you'll see that people never do anything that well again, and it doesn't mean,
Ange just said I should have you at my class as a Zoom, because I do have people come in and talk. This is really, I'm having the best time. I did not think we were going to do this, and I could talk, and the chat room is loving it too.
Really?
They're saying this should be a new podcast, Two Professors Talk Films.
Oh my God.
I know you don't like what I'm saying, but
I do like what you're saying.
I'm crazy. I have
yeah.
very opinionated, crazy person views, but I love talking about film, and I just love hearing somebody knowledgeable's opinions. The way I feel about if you knew about wine or beer, if I respect somebody's opinions, I love listening to them.
I'm going to say something very controversial. My two favorite movies, and I did enjoy Barbie. But my two favorite movies this year are Anatomy of a Fall and a movie based on a book that I had never read because I'm not a girl, called Hey God, It's Me, Margaret.
Oh, I just put that on my DVR.
I know that's not the name.
No, yes, it is. Are you there, God?
Is that you, God? It's me, Margaret. I think.
Yeah. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Are you there, God? Thank you.
No. I just put that on the DVR. I must see that because my sister must have read that book like everybody her age in the 70s 50 times, and I need to know why. And my mother got me the boys version of that book by Judy Blume, and it sucked. It was called
What's it
Then Again,
called?
Maybe I Won't, and I was not interested, and that's when I started reading James Bond books instead. I wanted to know about 40-year-old men who drank than kids my age. You know.
Wait, well, what was the name of the men's books you wrote?
Then
I
Again,
didn't
Maybe
even
I
know-
Won't.
Say it again.
Then Again, Maybe I Won't.
Really?
Yeah, I hated it. I was so bored. I just couldn't.
I've never heard. I didn't even know she wrote books for young men.
Yeah, she tried. It wasn't working. You know.
Oh my god!
Now she
But
has a
that
rest
book was-
area at the Garden State Parkway.
She does, and she's there. She signs books.
No, it's just called the Judy Blume rest
Oh,
area.
that would be great if she's there every day.
It's that right near the John Bon Jovi rest area.
You know, Jerry Lewis is also from New Jersey, as in Frank Sinatra. That they have rest areas.
Sinatra does, but Jerry Lewis will never.
What?
I don't.
Oh
he
my
just
God.
won't. Nobody think. I didn't know he was from Jersey. That's the
What
problem.
are you talking about?
I didn't know, and no one knows. I never heard that. I definitely knew Sinatra. He's the last stop on the turnpike.
Oh my God. That's the way it is. You beat up a hooker, you get off the turnpike, you beat up a hooker.
Yep, there it is. That's the exact
And
cover.
again, maybe I won't.
Oh, so
look
boring.
at the guy.
Your
He's like,
window with
has
a
bino-
kid?
Yeah, I
Is
did.
that you? Did you have
Yeah,
binoculars?
I
when you-
absolutely did. I had binoculars, and there was a girl across the street that was so sexy.
Oh, of
I had the
course.
exact same thing, and I just didn't care. Maybe because I'm like, hey, I don't want to read about myself. So that's why I went to James Bond and The Odd Couple. I'm like, let's just read about old men or watch old men TV shows because that's what I'm going to become.
What was the book about? I'm curious about this.
It was about a boy going through puberty. I just wasn't interested.
Okay,
I don't even
okay.
remember because I hated it so much, and that's why I
Did
can't
you have
wait.
glasses when you were a kid?
No, I didn't have glasses. I
Okay.
had binoculars. Wow. But wait, so you say you saw with Rachel McAdams, the Are You There, God It's Me, Morgan? You loved the movie.
Loved it.
Who directed it?
That's a good question, but I know who produced it.
But I liked the Barbie movie.
I know who
too.
produced it was James L. Brooks. It's like has
Really?
yes.
Look at this guy. Isn't this guy amazing? James L. Brooks. There should be a class about that guy. In fact, doesn't he? Oh, I know what it was. I did see him teach at USC. Do you know Larry Moss?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Larry Moss came. I'm friendly with him for years, and he was doing a class at USC, which he put on a DVD called it was an acting one called the procedure. I can't remember. And he was taking the scene. It was all filmed at USC with James L. Brooks on his side, and they were taking the scene from Tootsie, where he was. Dustin Hoffman was talking to Terry Gargo, and they were doing the scene like now and do it a little bit, like, but you're angry, like I am being angry, like I forget it, Dr. Brewster, whatever. They were doing that, and they kept doing that scene, and they did it like 6 times in 6 different ways until it got to the end. And I remember watching it going like, this is stupid. And then when it got to the end, I'm like, oh my God, I get it. It was very entertaining. And they filmed it at USC.
Oh, I see.
Who's that?
Oh, that's who directed. I assume this is who directed Are You There, God It's Me.
That
Morgan.
hot girl directed Are You? Sorry, I shouldn't. Wow, I'm
Right
very
in.
impressed.
Kelly Craig. We got to get her on the thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's see when she's
how
born.
come-
1981. She's born 81. Okay.
What does that make her?
Well, for her 40s, right?
Oh, thank God.
42.
That girl's in her 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
women-
previous movie was the Transformers Bumblebee movie.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not. That's what it says on our.
Put that
Wikipedia.
thing back
let
up. Put that thing back up. Now we're fascinated. Now we're
You let
two guys
I
obsessed.
can't believe it.
over
I mean, I am extremely being sexist now.
this.
That
Yeah,
girl
let's
directed
put
a
that picture back up. Put that
Transformers
thing
movie.
back
My
up.
goodness.
Oh, I see.
The Edge of 17. Oh, I like that movie. That's with.
Oh, she did that. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that Hailey Bieber? Maybe.
Wait,
or-
she wrote. No, she just wrote that. Oh, she wrote and directed it. Oh my God.
That's impressive. How come we've never heard about this woman before?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
look, this
that
is-
Bumblebee movie is actually not bad. The other ones are
Uh-huh.
all garbage, but the Bumblebee one's actually okay.
It looked
Fun
fun.
play.
It looked funny.
Yeah.
But
Wow,
she didn't
look at
direct
her.
that. She just okay. That's good. But
I
I
am
just
impressed.
loved it. I don't know what Ordinary Angels is, but
Wait, didn't you say something about Alan Loeb before?
as a matter of fact, I didn't. But
Oh,
thanks
I
for
could have
bringing
sworn
it
you
up.
mentioned him before.
Thanks for having a little mini stroke in the middle of our conversation. Anything else you want to talk about? What I didn't say?
Nope. I'm already embarrassed.
That was great. All right,
Yeah.
so we learned now.
Yeah.
But those are my two favorites of the. And there's been some good. There's some. I still have to see Maestro. I still have to see.
Well, Maestro hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing it Saturday.
It's coming out this weekend?
No, I'm seeing a screening at the. I'm in the Writers Guild.
Are you going with Sarah?
No.
Oh, I thought maybe you might be.
No.
I helped her with the, with her a little bit of her act. I helped go over lines, and
yeah,
it was exciting. And also, I tried to get her Larry Moss to help her with some stuff, but he was too pricey.
Some acting.
Well, it's a pretty serious part.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
She said a lot of her scenes were cut, like the good juicy ones. But, still pretty exciting for her to be in something like that.
That's like me and Hardly Working. Like my extra work was.
It's like you in Legally Blonde, my favorite part. If you guys don't know, it was because of Wayne that Elwood's got accepted into Harvard. So you can thank him for that.
The way I say it is.
Welcome to Harvard.
Yeah. By the way I say it is, the movie is really about me. I'm the key person in that movie. There is no movie. She's going to Orange County Community College.
Right. Hey, I'm with you 100%.
No shame in that. No shame in community college. I'm not trying to. Yeah.
No, you're the reason that she got in. I love that about it. I love that. It makes me so happy when I see that scene and you're in it. I'm like, see, he's the good guy. He gets her in. I tell my nieces all the time, we know Uncle David. You know him. Because that's a movie I'd like to teach too.
I love that you get to teach just a movie.
Well, the movie
I have to learn about minstrel shows. I got to learn about burlesque.
No, the movie is the jumping off point. And then we go into romantic comedies and well-written ones that there's some good ones like a Notting Hill that has good supporting characters, stuff like that. Definitely. In fact, I showed them Arthur, which I thought was one of the greatest comedy written.
How did they like that? How did they like Arthur?
They like that better than Notting Hill. I think they got it a little. And I made a video of that part where he walks in like, hello, tell Inspector Flanagan is here from that. That'll get it down. When he goes to the first time he goes to get engaged with that butler. Have you always supposed to be a nightclub comic? And I put it together with bells of how many jokes per that scene there were. There was like 16 in a row. And I was trying to explain that to them. Like, it's not just that it's funny. It's like, these are well-written lines.
Yeah. Mike, I have a question for you. I believe the writer-director of Arthur died after that movie. Did he? But so it had nothing to do with Arthur 2, right?
No. He died right after.
Steven something?
Steve Gordon.
Steve Gordon. That's it. Yeah.
And he died, unfortunately, right after he wrote and directed this masterpiece of comedy. And died right after. And the only thing he had done before, I think, was a Different Strokes episode. I mean, it was like, it bothers me a lot because this guy.
Does it bother you more than a payphone scene in a movie from the 70s?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure.
A lot, because I know you're upset about that too.
But Lots of Luck. Do you remember that show? Wasn't that with Carl Reiner?
Was this he wrote these? Oh, okay. So he wrote all. Oh, he created The Practice. I know that.
Yeah,
that's Tim Thomerson's show. Yeah.
But Lots of Luck was the one with Carl Reiner, right? Where he played like he used to.
Wait a minute. He did The One and Only. That's the Henry Winkler movie.
The Henry Winkler. Right. Yes, that's right. The One and Only with Hervé Villachez and Henry Winkler.
Can you go to the top of this wiki page, possibly? I just want to see what he looks like. Oh man, Steve
you look
Gordon.
Cool. Yeah, he had a heart attack in 1982 at the age of 44.
Chester, Pennsylvania.
This guy could have been what Harold Ramis was. I mean, he just could have done so much stuff.
You'd love to do the what if.
I know.
It's funny to me. He had written only one. Oh, he wrote The One and Only. Okay.
Oh, he didn't direct it?
I got no. Okay.
Yeah, it says his directorial debut was Arthur.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. What a movie. God,
yeah.
That comedy. It's just incredible.
It's so incredible. Yeah. I actually took a picture of my sister lives in the town where for some reason Dudley Moore is buried. And
really?
I was at another funeral and I went to his grave. So it's an amazing grave. It's like a piano.
Yeah.
Got a picture of him on it. It's a very nice in a nice area. And what a loss. That guy was Dudley Moore was so brilliant. And although I didn't like Liza Minnelli that much in the movie, I do like her in the movie, but she's not my type where I'd give up $1 billion for. So that's in that mentality. But she was so great in the movie. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh man.
I took that picture, right, Mike?
I don't know.
Oh, you just found it online. Oh,
Now,
Yeah.
do people put rocks on top of it? Is that a thing?
I think I thought that was a Jewish thing. So
But
I
he's
don't know
not
why
Jewish,
they put
is
that
he?
on top.
Is-
Altoid. Oh, I put that
Altoids.
there after I.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's funny. Musician.
Isn't that a
that's
great
awesome picture?
stone?
Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't that a great like tombstone though? It's like a, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he had such a tragic ending where he had a disease where he
Yeah.
couldn't play the piano. And like
I
that
know,
was his
right?
one refuge from it all was like he's this incredible piano player.
Right. He was so
And
talented. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, obviously he plays in the Arthur. He does some
Yeah.
piano
Isn't that
stuff.
great that
Yeah,
this guy totally got him and used all of his talents?
Oh,
He
yeah.
plays in 10 as well.
Yes,
Like
he does. Yes, he does.
people seem to get it. And
No, I've seen him. There's footage of him at the Hollywood Bowl doing Gershwin, and he's just
he
I-
played the song by Christopher Cross at the Oscars with Christopher Cross, which was I'll never forget. I remember the piano coming up and he's just smiling at Christopher Cross because I think Christopher Cross was nervous about performing, and
right.
he was like, "You can do it, buddy." It was really what a
Do you
cool
know,
guy.
are you familiar with there's a very historic, it predates the Beatles, but it's part of the British cultural invasion, not the British rock and roll invasion, which we all know about the Beatles, the Animals, the Rolling Stones, Herman's Hermits, the Kinks, we all know that story. But there's a British cultural invasion that happens in the late 50s, early 60s that kind of gets us ready for the Beatles. And one of them is this comedy show called, I think it's called Beyond the Fringe. Or maybe just be called The Fringe, but I think it's called Beyond the Fringe. And it's Peter Cook, Dudley Moore, and a couple other sketch guys who did the show that was a big hit on Broadway. British humor.
Broadway. Oh,
Yeah. You can, and so that's the first. Yeah, so and he does an incredible piece on the piano there about like, the end of classical songs is always like, there's like the fifth, you know what I mean? There's like resolution, but he just keeps doing it. There it is, Beyond the
God,
Fringe.
is Mike amazing or what?
So what year is that? Is that 62? So again, there's all these things that are starting to happen before the Beatles that are like Britishy, like Beyond the Fringe. And I don't know if you remember the best picture in 1963 was this movie called
So what's West Side Story?
No. It's the
That's 60. My Fair Lady?
Well, My Fair Lady is part of this as
That's
well.
63 though.
No, that's 64. Tom Jones, also a British kind of thing. And then My Fair Lady happens, and then the second.
Right.
So it's like
64. Right, Mary Poppins. Right. I'm sorry, Julie Andrews won for Mary Poppins.
Julie Andrews is part of. So it's like we're
right. Julie Andrews, Sound of Music.
Yeah. So we're in this
came to New York in 62.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just part of, because if you think about it, like Britain, like we escaped from Britain. You know what I mean? We fought Britain but by this time, after World War II, we suddenly became real Britain files in the United States culturally. And then, so when the Beatles came, that was just another example of that. This is not my idea. There's a book called Can't Buy Me Love, which is a great Beatles book, just about the culture that helps boost what the Beatles did.
Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't.
Yeah. But Beyond so Dudley Moore's been around for like a long time with his partners and stuff. And then, but I play piano in my act, so I've always been attracted to comedians who did music. So that's part of my.
Yeah, no, I like it too when they're great.
Some people don't. Some people think it's a crutch, but I
would never think that. I love singing in my act. I used to do it all the time.
You do Broadway stuff. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do imitations of Elvis Costello. I used to make my own Elvis Costello songs and sing them.
Yeah, and you also did Lou Costello, right? Didn't you do Elvis? Lou Costello.
You're thinking of Bob Greenberg.
No, I thought you meant that it was a
Who's
battle
still
of the
doing
Costellos.
it? No,
Two Costellos.
no. I used to do.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Lou Costello also from New Jersey, from Patterson.
Oh,
Does he
really?
have a stop? Does he have a stop?
No. I
Guys,
think
what's going on?
there could be a museum.
In Patterson. Well, there was a movie. Did you ever see the movie Patterson? It's
No,
an indie film.
no.
Yeah.
Is it a black film?
No.
Because that's a pretty dangerous neighborhood now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No, it's who
I'm
is
sorry,
the guy? You know who stars
Jim
in it?
Jarmusch,
Yeah.
Adam Driver.
Yeah. Adam Driver is the star of it. You may know him from Star Wars or from Girls.
Yeah, it's new
Or a
No,
marriage story.
3 years ago, 4
and
years
it takes
ago.
place in Patterson, New Jersey.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Lou
That's-
Costello is referenced in that movie as well. Because
Oh.
like in the bar, they have like a little shrine to him and stuff.
Huh.
So you've
That's
never heard
weird.
of Patterson?
What?
Jim
Never the
Jarmusch?
movie. I've heard about the place in New Jersey, and I've
Yeah,
been told
yeah.
never to go.
You're saying it's bad? Is it worse than Newark?
Yeah.
It
Yes.
is?
Yes. It's right around New York, but it is apparently worse.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
That's why I'm surprised that
no,
Adam
it
Driver's in it.
was a very working class kind of thing, but I wouldn't say it was like Superfly or
They must be on the outskirts of Patterson or something. I don't know. This is what I've been told by
I like
people
that
that work there.
Superfly is my reference for a black movie. It's not like Superfly.
I love your references. Well, I guess we have to go. I
Let's
really
go.
could talk about, but we at least have to do the football picks, right,
Let's
Mike?
do it. Let's do it right now. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
Oh,
Mike,
yeah.
can
I
you play
made some
the
notes.
can you play the thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, this has been fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Wait, we have a. All right. Oh yes, that's last week's.
Oh, wow.
It was I did horribly. Mike did great. Mike and Nick Griffin. You know Nick Griffin, Wayne?
Sure, very well.
Sure.
I always like the
He
way
was-
that Nick always pretends he's like, I'm the guy I don't care. He did Letterman numerous
I
times.
know he's so down on himself.
I love it. I love it.
It is hilarious. I mean, that's what makes him funny. But he's
Who's
so
Marcy?
talented,
Who's
too.
Marcy?
Marcy is in our chat room, and we use her just to make the picks on this level. Then, if you go to the other one, Mike, this is last week's top 5. We had a puppet pick in the celebrity corner, and then everybody from the chat room picks over here. I did horribly, 2 out of 5. Mike killed it, only missing on Jacksonville, and you guys, the chat room did terrific too. Very impressive. So let's go to this week's.
Oh, they were 4-1. Very good. The
Yeah,
peanut gallery.
I am going to share my screen, and I am sharing it now, Michael. You can see it, Wayne.
Miss Kentucky. Wow.
You see your little
Yes,
picture
I
up
do
here?
see it. I do see it. I do see it.
All right, so I will begin with the Thursday night, finally a good Thursday night matchup, Baltimore Ravens against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I will take the Bengals plus the points. I don't see any reason why that should be any different.
Wait, the Bengals are the underdog.
Yes,
Gotcha.
probably because they lost last week, but so did the Ravens. So the 3.5, I say I'm definitely taking that. Mike?
Mike?
I'm
Mike
going to go with
goes
the
first.
Bengals as well.
All right, Wayne. Are you going to name the stadium? It's my favorite thing.
No, I'm not going to name the stadiums. I used to do that, but I am going to name the network. The show, the broadcast will be on. It is going to be on Amazon Prime, so you can see that as well as Superman 2: The Richard Donner Cut. Not available on any other network. They'll show the highlights on ESPN later on that night, and I'm gonna also now. Let me go Baltimore.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Faves.
I see the chat. The chat room's mostly
3.5 points, right?
Yep. They
Okay.
have to win by 4. I see, Mike. The chat room's going with Bengals.
Yeah, they're all Bengals.
All Bengals.
Oh God, why does it? All right.
I tried to pick the most interesting matchups.
No, I
It's not
like
a
it.
great week of football besides the
What are you
Thursday and
talking
Monday
about?
game.
Aren't the Redskins and the Giants playing?
Yeah, but they were favored by 10 points, and the Giants are just out of it. So
Okay.
it didn't seem, but this one doesn't seem bad. The Browns against the Steelers, always a close game, which is why, again, I will take the Steelers and the points. Cleveland beat Baltimore, and it was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And the Steelers won also. So I'm definitely taking the points. That is why I'm taking the Steelers. Mike.
I'm gonna go with the Browns. Steelers did screw me last week, but I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Wayne.
Well, I'm going to do a little. Pittsburgh is where Mario Joyner, the comedian, is from.
I remember him.
And Cleveland is from where Bob Hope is from, which is where comedians are from. Oh, man. These are two steel towns, right?
That's right. Yeah. They're
Rust Belt, they call it now. The Rust
blue
Belt.
collar towns.
Blue collar thing. They don't know. They vote for Obama, but then they go for Trump. Okay. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh just
right.
for coaching. Although I'm rooting for Cleveland. Go ahead.
And Mike, what's the audience picking?
They're going Browns.
They're going Browns.
Jesus.
And then we have the Cardinals against the Texans. You had mentioned earlier the Texans have won a lot. They're doing amazing with their rookie quarterback. It's really unbelievable. But the Cardinals have Kyler Murray back, and they did well. So once again, I will take the points. I will take the 4 points, even though the Cardinals traditionally, well, that's only the middle of them. They never play well on the East Coast, but this is in the middle. I like the Cardinals with Kyler Murray back again. Wayne, you want to go first this time?
Yeah. I'm definitely going Texans. I'm going to go with the Rook.
Well, yeah, he's been playing unbelievably.
Yeah,
Mike,
I'd say the streak continues.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Texans too. I think even if they, I think that's what's gonna happen.
And what is the audience saying? I see one Texans.
They're out there doing all Texans.
Okay, perfect.
I don't see. I'm looking at the peanut gallery. I don't see Schroeder in there. I see Pigpen.
He's not in there. You're right.
Oh my God! What is okay?
I know.
I'll continue.
He plays the piano. I know.
Continue, but geez, that's an oversight.
This became a good game now in a way, even though the Jets are just driving me nuts. But now the Jets lost.
Jets have a good defense.
And the Bills lost again yesterday, and the Jets play the Bills well. This is the last time I'm taking the Jets. The last time, Mike.
Do you want me to go?
What, Mike?
Oh, well, he said, "Do you want him to go?"
Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I don't want Mike to influence me. I wish can the peanut gallery go first before me?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that.
I see everybody saying I'm taking the Bills. Sorry, Dave. So I guess
is that right? I'm with the gallery. I'm also with the gallery. I'm going Bills as well.
What, Mike? Right?
Yeah, they're going Bills.
They're going Bills. You're going Bills. Okay.
Yeah.
More Bills than Jets.
Oh,
what about you? Why would you take the Jets after last week? Please.
Yeah, but the Bills do the same thing every week.
So. Yeah, I know the Bills are very
Jets are just the Jets. Ugh.
The Bills are playing for their season. This is very important.
True.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bills as well.
All right. Yeah. I hate all of you. And here's the Taylor Swift Bowl again, because she'll probably. I mean, I know she's been in Brazil, but I don't know how she's not going to be there. The Travis and his brother are playing together. You know, they both play on two separate teams, so the mom's definitely going. Kelsey, was it Kelsey? It's Travis.
Are they
Kelsey.
actually dating, or she just go to the games?
No, they're dating. They're heavily dating.
Heavily dating.
She just changed the lyrics in one of her songs last week to include the word Chiefs, so she could talk about her boyfriend. I mean, it certainly seems like a publicity stunt, but I think they really are dating. I am picking the Chiefs at home in this one. Wayne, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with that's Arrowhead Stadium, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with and all of this. I like the whole Native American theme. I'm gonna go with them, even though the eagle is also.
Yeah, it's very American. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the natives also worship the eagle.
Mike?
Oh, Jules likes the Eagles.
I'm going Eagles, and they are going Eagles as well.
All right.
This is going to be this is good. So this is going to be great.
Yeah. And that is the picks
Guys, thank you. So especially the peanut gallery. I wish Schroeder was there.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
a little devastated.
He's not even in the picture behind me.
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. They didn't
Well,
like
they-
Schroeder. They didn't
Okay.
like his attitude.
This is going to sound
Well-
racist. What is the name of the black guy?
Franklin.
That's
Yeah.
Franklin.
Yeah.
Right.
And of
Well,
course,
they've made a point to make Franklin seem more included because in older stuff he wasn't.
Oh,
at the
really?
table
Is
on one
Franklin a
picture
relatively new character?
yeah.
compared to the others.
I mean, this
He
took
is
place-
also 60 years old, but he is newer than the other ones.
right. And I think the thing behind me came out in 73. So he was definitely, I mean, newer, but he's
Wait a
still been
minute.
around.
Is that from the Thanksgiving
Yeah.
episode?
Uh-huh.
That's 73?
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
a newer picture, Dave. That's not from
Yeah.
the.
No, it's not.
Thank
No,
you.
that's from the 1973 cartoon. It's a yeah, I've seen this
Love
100
this
times.
argument.
It's
You're
on
right.
Apple TV. The other one's the Christmas one and the Halloween one are from the 60s. You know? So that's why it looks clearer.
Thanksgiving. You're right. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Halloween.
You know,
'cause-
this is a later one.
And
where
I hate, was there diversity in the Halloween one? Was there Franklin in that?
No, I don't think
I
so.
didn't
In-
think so.
In fact,
Okay,
they
okay.
just had Pigpen, and you know, he's just I think they finally got rid of that guy because it was kind of sad. I don't know
What?
why he was always dirty. I mean, maybe he was poor, which is just sad. So I don't know. I like
You know-
this one, the Thanksgiving one. It's weird, but Peppermint Patty's such an asshole in this one. She just invites herself over, and Snoopy and Charlie Brown try real hard to make something because they're supposed to go to their grandmother's house, and she's just a big loudmouth.
Yeah.
The best is that a boy plays her.
Yeah,
You
the
can look him
voice.
up.
The voice. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves that he did that years ago. He's like 60 years old now, I think, and he loves that he played Peppermint Patty. It's really funny.
That is awesome.
This is
no,
the picture I was talking about, Dave. For some reason, this picture got posted out of context last year,
oh.
so they were making it seem like he was.
Actually, you know, now that you mention it, that's the actual thing because I know I always felt bad because they gave him that horrible chair, and I always
Doesn't he
felt
just come later?
that what?
Doesn't he just show up later?
No, he shows up with Marcy and Peppermint Patty, and then they
Gotcha.
give each other a high five, which is awkward when you watch.
Can we look at it looks like they're eating dessert.
They're only made popcorn, toast, and some sort of ice cream.
Yeah.
That's all they have
That's
because
not-
they're going to their grandmother's for the actual.
Oh,
dinner.
I see. I get this one mixed up with the Halloween one. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, you're not. The Halloween one is a classic too. and
That's
this
the
one-
best one. The Halloween's the best one, right?
I like the Christmas one the best. That's
You
my
do?
favorite. Yeah, because
It's
I like
not
the
too
sound
Christian-
to Vince
not too
Giraldi.
Christian-y? Yeah.
No, well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, Wayne, because that's actually my favorite part of it. Our mother didn't let us watch stuff like that,
Mhm.
you know, back then. But I love when I found out later that Charles Schultz was a big devout Catholic.
Mhm.
I love that he stood up and said, I want this part of the true meaning of Christmas, this
Yeah.
very small 30-second clip. I demand. CBS was like, no, we want to make it kind of,
Really?
yeah. And he demanded it. And it's just that smart. I don't think they wanted to put the word Jesus in. And he was like, no, listen, I'm a man of the cloth and I want to put this in. And it was a gutsy call for people that liked it, that weren't, you know, that. And I like that he fought for it.
Although he was divorced, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they're all
Divorced-
two-faced. We know
divorced
that.
and remarried. But again, you can double check this because I love Peanuts. I just love it.
Me too.
Love this strip. Don't like Love. And if I'm not mistaken, the last strip was published the day he died.
Oh, is that right?
Can we check that out? That might be folklore. That might be. Now you have to look back and see if that Cliff Gorman thing I said is right or 5.
It makes sense that.
No. It was just a weird divine.
Oh,
kind
it
of
was
thing.
just a coincidence.
Total coincidence. Total coincidence.
It was the day after he died.
The day
Well,
after. Okay.
Pretty
He
good.
died on a Saturday and they published the Sunday.
So you're saying he was ready to retire, and he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
saying, "I'm calling it quits," and then he died, and the thing came out the next day.
Yeah, because
Wow.
he had written a number of them. Yes. That
But he had turned it in on January 9th, but it got published on February 13th.
And he died in the second.
He died on the 12th.
died on the 12th. interesting, right? Like, how
Yeah,
could he know
very.
he was going to die a month? I mean, come on.
Wow.
Right,
that's
that he
very
died,
impressive.
and then the next day, the very last, like, I'm hanging it up. I think he had other people drawing the cartoons and stuff
Yeah,
towards the end.
mail. I don't know.
Well,
It's
the
not
last
like
script was, here's everyone who can go to hell.
What?
the rest of the comics are so horrible. They've had their kids draw it and everything. They keep them forever.
Oh,
It's
they
like
do? Okay, yeah.
Beetle Bailey, Blondie, all the kids, the Hagar, the kids of the original writers keep it going because I guess it's a cash cow. Although I don't know why, since nobody's printing the Sunday Funnies anymore, so I can't figure out how it's still a
That
thing.
is a good question.
Meanwhile, it would be fun to have a strip, you and I having a strip or something. I don't know why. It seems like fun.
It seems like a lot
Well,
of
if a
work.
script isn't out there, there's not going to be any merchandising. That's I think where they make a lot of their money.
Yes, those books, the mugs, the thing. Is this the last strip?
Yes.
Oh, dear friends. I mean, come on. He wrote this a month before he dies, and then he.
Oh, there it is. They say no. I think he's
Oh,
writing.
thank you for putting that up. That's incredible.
Unfortunately, I'm no longer able to maintain the schedule. My family does not wish Peanuts to be continued by anyone else. Good for you.
Yeah.
Such an embarrassment. And then the funny thing is that
Look at the last thing he says. Again, I love sentimentality. Another reason I love Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Linus, and Lucy. So those were his 4 favorite, I guess.
Well, they have started it all, and then
guess what? No Franklin. No mention of Franklin. Interesting.
He should have put that to be progressive. But that's the thing also is that then they continued to run repeats.
Yes.
And that was still on the front page or the back page. It was still the one that topped everything, even the fucking repeats.
Mike, thank you for putting that up. That was incredible. It still gives me chills a little bit. I just love. Yeah.
Me too. Well, Wayne, this was so much fun. I hope I didn't keep you crazy late.
No.
I know you're going to be on New Year's, Ange. You got to go.
Glendale, Arizona.
Hey, whatever. He's playing. Yeah. What's it? Side Splitters?
I think it's called Split Sider.
Ange, what's it called? She'll probably know.
Yeah. Split Sider.
She'll tell us. And
he
is playing there the entire weekend of New Year's, between Christmas and New Year's there.
Yeah.
And you definitely got to go see him or get the book, The History of Stand-Up, from Mark Twain to Dave Chappelle.
Right. If you want to know about stand-up.
Oh, these are my favorites, the really old ones.
Oh, yeah.
That's the very first one.
This is. Can I guess the year? May I guess the year?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to guess. God, it's got to be 57 or 58.
I was going to say earlier.
What is it, Mike?
Oh, I have not looked yet.
No, okay.
I was going to say
1950.
Oh, 50.
Oh,
God.
October
I'm way
2nd.
off. I am way off.
I used to read all these. I had the books as a kid. You must have had them too. My dad got them for me.
That's the first one. Let me see that. I'm going to.
Isn't that great? I love when he was like, if Snoopy was so adorable.
Oh my God. Thank you for putting. So we saw some. So from 1950. Oh my God. All right. I'm getting emotional. I'm going to leave the studio.
Yes. Wayne, thank you so much. Wayne Federman, everybody.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you
Let's
so much.
do it again in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Mike, was that not awesome?
That was great.
I wish, every show should be like that much fun. I love talking about movies. Obviously, we all, I think we all had a good time. That was so much fun. I'm sorry about the slides and everything. I mean, I have them, but it's 7:30 already. I'll keep some of them for next week when we'll be in studio with our guest, Noelle Leone, who's way hot and a model and a comedian and an Instagram influencer. So she will be with us live. Why would we put her on virtually? Mike, am I right? Mike. Yeah, thanks, Marge. Oh, I'm so glad you guys liked him. Oh, that's great. Great. So, Ange, you're going to see him. Make sure you take a picture. I'm so glad you guys liked him. Yeah, isn't he fun? He's a really great guy. And I totally forgot he was teaching at USC. As soon as he met, then I was like, wait a minute, came back. Yeah, he was so great. And I will be, Jules is here. I'll be doing Jules's show Thursday at the public library in Long Beach, Long Island. Right, Jules? I'm actually looking forward to it a lot. And thank you for having me. That'll be super fun. And it's been scheduled for like a long time. So thank you so much. I'm very excited. And that's Thursday night. And Mike, where are you going to be this week?
I will be Saturday. I'll be at the Rutherford show.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, I'll be hosting.
Oh,
And,
great.
yeah, I'll be doing that.
So Mike
Dan
will be
got
at the
COVID
Williams
last weekend,
Center.
and that got canceled.
What?
Soder got COVID this last week, so that weekend got canceled.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Jules said it's sold out at 3,000 seats. That's terrific. Thank you. Right. What? No. But it's not 3,000, right? Because I'll be prepared. Don't worry. But I am looking forward to it, Jules. I'm looking forward to seeing you. And Mike will be at the Williams Center in Rutherford, which of course is my happy place. And that's great. So, and then on Billy Joel A to Z, we got Todd Barry, who is hilarious. Well, obviously he's hilarious, but the reason we have him on is because he was in a Billy Joel cover band called A Matter of Trust. And Mike, all they do is play the song A Matter of Trust. They play it twice. So that's our thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate that. And they're saying a week late saying, or, love you all. Great seeing you too. Marcy, obviously, so great to see you, and Catalina today and everybody. So again, we'll be in studio for the next 3 weeks. So it's not Thanksgiving yet, but we will see everybody next week live on the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. Good night, everybody.